Hello, everyone. Hello, runners. Hope all of you are doing well. This is Coach Bala here, coming to you again for yet another weekend message. As always, wanted to kickstart with a huge congratulatory note for all of you. A bulk of you have now entered or finished the first week of the second meso cycle. That means you guys are really into a training rhythm right now. 5K runners have finished their second meso. Very soon they'll get into the third meso, so that they are getting ready to complete their season. Can you believe it? Another 4 weeks and their 10-week program is done. It's also a historic day today. We are starting the season for our master runners. For those of you who are first time hearing this, we have a third segment, Pro, Light, and Masters. And Master segment is for senior citizens, parents, and relatives of current runners. They sponsor them, and we put them through a 10-week, 5K, 10K walking, yoga, breathing, stretching program. And this is the third season we are offering. It's a highly successful, very much looked after kind of a program. Everyone every master has a coach. We have about 25 masters this season starting their journey today. All the very best for my master runners. You're always been a pleasure to work with, and I know that this time we have some few new master runners joining us. So all the very best for your journey. We hope that you will enjoy it as much as the other masters who have run with us. So that's our that's today, and just congratulations are due all around. I know that the summer is at its meridian. The sun is at its meridian. It's very hot, especially in the East Coast. If it is hot, I can only imagine how other places are. It's hot, very humid. So you got to be, running not just hard and strong, but also smart. So we have touched upon all of this in past messages. Please make sure that you're on top of it, as well as follow through the instructions and insights that are shared in those messages. So today, I want to talk about 3 or 4 key concepts, like what I did last time, to further strengthen your understanding of the why we are doing what we are doing. Okay, so let me start first with this. How do we look like in this training journey? How does the training journey unfolds? It's important for you to learn this and understand this, because now that you are right in the middle of the training journey, it's important that we sort of understand how this training journey is going to unfold for all of you. The best way I have found in explaining our training regimen is think of yourself getting onto a train in New York Penn Station, and this train is sort of traveling to its destination, which is San Francisco, which is on the West Coast. So you're going from East Coast to West Coast. And once you board the train, there are some rules that this train follows. The train does not have any stops, or in other words, it doesn't stop for anybody. There is nobody coming in after the train starts moving. Only people who can sort of, metamorphically, people can just get out of the train, like jump out of the train, but people can't get back in. And then the train it doesn't stop much, except for, let's say, one stop in Kansas City, right in the center. Or in other words, there is a rest week that is there, where there is 1 week, nothing happens, everybody is allowed, are asked to take rest, which is going to happen about 4 or 5 weeks from now. And then it just keeps going to the other end. The other thing about this train is it continuously picks up speed. It just picks up speed as it goes through. Now, why I'm saying this is, as you are entering the 4th week of this training program, there are a few things that this analogy you should keep in mind and try to focus on in the training. 1, be on top of things. You can be on top of things if you focus on it. Whether it is my weekly messages, whether it is the running, instructions that I'm giving, and you following the instructions and doing it, not missing out on the strength training. These are all elements, various elements of the training journey that I want you to be part of and be on top of. The way you can be on top of is just do it as the first order of duty in the to-do list of every day, as opposed to the last order of duty every day. When it is the last, then you are leaving it up to a chance. And once it is up to a chance, it's very possible you leave it. And you might be thinking, okay, I'll drop once, next tomorrow I'll catch up. But tomorrow there's something else happening. And as I said, the train is picking up pace. So tomorrow's job is slightly more difficult than the first day's job or the first week's job. So if you keep missing out on it and you think you can catch up later, you cannot. You've missed the train already. Same thing goes for my weekend messages. I try to make sure I give a weekend message so that in your run next day, you will be able to hear it, and that's it. You're done with it. You know what is happening. So that's what I would ask you to do. Don't let it go. Don't let the train leave you. It's difficult for you to catch up. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, secondly, when you think about this training, at the end of the day, training is about improving your strength and stamina and mental strength, physical strength, all kinds of things. That's what this training is about at the end of the day, right? So that you can take on the challenge of the race day. The way we want you to think about, especially when your cardiovascular strength, the way we are trying to enhance and fine-tune your cardiovascular system is something like this. Now, take two types of engines, One is the engine that sort of the leaf blower that you have, some of us use it for fall time, where you have a small engine and then it's got this leaf and air is blowing out of the other side. And then the other side of the engine is maybe one of those luxury car, BMW, high-powered car engines. Okay. Now, when you compare these two engines, there will be one fundamental difference or two fundamental differences that you will see. One is the power output of the engine. The second one, which is this BMW big car engines, are a step change when it comes to the power output of these leaf blower engines, small versus large, so obviously the power is higher. So the output itself is pretty much higher. The second key interesting difference is that that there are parts inside the engine that is rotating very fast, and it's counted in terms of revolutions per minute, RPM. Now, if you just measure the RPM of this engine, the leaf blower engine versus the high-powered luxury car engines, you will see that there is an order of magnitude. That means the leaf blower engine is running at thousands of RPM a minute, RPMs, running revolutions per minute, and the high-powered engines are probably at hundreds. So there is an order of difference. This is going very fast, but much low power. This is going slow, but much higher power. And I'm hoping you're understanding where I'm going towards. So the idea here is you need to develop a big heart vascular system so that it can deliver a large power to your body. And part of doing that is you need to do that at an engine that is stable and slow RPM, as opposed to running like that. Because if you have like the leaf blower type of like that, yes, it sounds big, it's have all this high fast RPM and all, but the output is not that great. And you can't have the leaf blower on for a too long time. It'll get heated up and it'll sort of max 15-20 minutes, and then you have to give it a break for cooling down. But in the luxury car engine, you can go on forever, isn't it? So that's the kind of training we are going for. We want you to run slow, maximize your power output, and run for a long time. And the way you do that is this training regimen. So you need to, so whenever your coach is saying, hey, you're running too fast, or your heart rate is too high, or you're panting too much, you're not running on your CP, all of this comes under the bucket of making sure that we start developing these high-powered engines that can last for long periods of time and that can deliver a lot more power and that can deliver at a rate that is high, sustainable, that heart rate that is sustainable. Okay, so remember that. Keep that second analogy in mind, what we are shooting for. And I want you all to keep this in mind as you're running, so that when you have the tendency or this, this sudden urge to run faster and finish it off, and then you have this panting, you got to realize, oh my God, I'm moving towards a leaf blower engine. It's not sustainable. I need to bring it back. And last time I talked to you about the aerobic training and anaerobic training. So this is another way of looking at it. All of this comes together. Okay, so that's the second sort of point I want to talk to you about this week. Then comes the third part, which is the target for the next couple of weeks. If you remember our first meso, we were talking about let's nail the meso, let's nail the CP. That's what we were talking about, right? Now I know that most of you are getting better at it. That's obvious. Now comes the second sort of setup that I want you to do, which is the notion of control. Now, it is extremely important that you are able to control the release of your energy across your runs. Okay, and the way I sort of do this is, if you think about, let's say I give you a balloon, air-filled balloon, big balloon, and I'm asking you that, okay, you can open up the orifice and allow the air to come out. And the only criteria is try to hold the, air should keep coming out, but you should try to make sure that it comes out for the longest of time. If let's say that's the homework I give you. So you can think about it. If this balloon, you have to open the orifice in such a way that some air is coming, but you constrict the orifice so that it's like that air is coming out. And hence you are able to hold it for much longer time. As opposed to imagine you just let it go, the orifice, you let it go, and then the entire air will just rush out in like couple of seconds, and the balloon is just going all around, and then boom, that's it. Like within a couple of seconds, all the air is out. Why I'm saying this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to control the release of energy in such a way that you are able to last longer releasing the energy. Okay, so you release the energy in such a way that slowly you release that. You are on top of it. You are the holder of that orifice. And you know how much air is there or how much power is remaining in your body. You know what's the distance that you need to run. And so you are planning for the last couple of miles of how much energy that I need to release it. So as a result, you are constricting the early phase of your run in such a way that you are slowly releasing your energy and holding on it and being on top of it. And thereby you're able to have a good run till the end. That is how I would define control. So now I want you all to start focusing on controlled delivery of runs. Now, the way I look at different sort of in this continuum of control, no control to fantastic control on the other end, there are multiple steps. You don't have to go right away into the last step. What I want you all to do starting next week is that for every run, I'm talking about base runs here, or the CP runs. The first level 1 control is your first mile should be the slowest. Or in other words, you have the maximum resources of energy available, and you are able to constrict the flow of output of this energy to such an extent that you really go as slow as possible. So when you finish your 5-mile run, for instance, when you look at the splits, the first mile should be the slowest. That is level 1 control. Then comes level 2 control, which is called as reverse splits. What I mean by that is you divide your run into 2 halves. Let's say a 4-mile run, 2 mile, 2 mile. When you are able to control properly in level 2, then the second half of your run is faster than the first half of your run. That is called reverse split. So if you think about it, if you run 4 miles, first mile 11 minutes, second mile 10 minutes, third mile 9 minutes, fourth mile 8 minutes, then you are talking about the second half and first half are like definitely fast. Second half is faster than the first half. It need not be sort of every mile is faster, but the whole half is faster. So you can plan that. That's level 2. Then comes level 3, which is what is called as a progressive reverse split, which is something that many runners here, especially senior runners or returning runners, are addicted to it. And that's what they want to hit every run, which they know when they do a progressive reverse split, which is PRS, they feel great about themselves. And I want you all to get to that. Now, what is PRS? PRS is every mile is faster than the preceding mile. So, or in other words, it's not only reverse splits, it is progressive reverse splits. So it's level 3. First mile is the slowest, 12 minutes, second mile, 11 minutes, third mile, 10 minutes, fourth mile, 9 minutes. So every mile is you're increasing the pace. When I say 11 minute, 10 minute, 9 minute, I hope you understand that's a split speed I'm talking about. 11 minute a mile speed, 10 minute a mile speed, 9 minute a mile speed, slow on. So you are progressively increasing the speed. Or when it comes to the controlled release of energy, you are progressively able to release more and more energy. Or in other words, you know exactly how much energy is in your tank at the beginning and every part of your run, that you know and are confident that you can release the maximum energy in the last mile. Thereby, you're able to deliver the maximum pace in the last mile. This is level 3, an ultimate setup when it comes to control. And I want all of you to go through these levels, one level at a time. Okay, and get to this level 3, which is progressive reverse split, PRS runs. And I guarantee you, when you do the first PRS, you will feel awesome and you want to do every run as that. And when you start doing PRSs, you begin to have a better plan of how you will deliver your runs. And then there is a level 4, which is for super long runs. I'm talking about 15 miles and above, where you can't just do PRS. Because you imagine, you can't start off at 12 minutes and run a 20-mile run and then keep on increasing speed. That means your 20th mile will be extremely fast. You know, it's not possible and practical. So we do what is called as a stacked progressive reverse split. That means you run the first 3 miles at 12, then the next 3 miles at 11:30, then the next 3 miles at 11:50. And within these 3 miles, if it goes up and down a little bit, 5 seconds and 10 seconds here and there, that's fine. But that's the band. You know, first 3 miles, 11:45 to 12. Second 3 miles, 11:30 to 11:45. Next 3 miles, 11:15 to 11:30. Split pace. So you get the point. That is the stacked progressive reverse split, typically used for very long distances. So that's control, folks. And I want all of you to start thinking about delivering controlled runs in mesos, coming meso. And that's what I'm going to look at all our runners. I would like all of the coaches I've told, and the coaches will also look at the same thing. They will look at the runners, give thoughts on the control, and all of us, when they get into a progressive reverse split run, feel free to share with everybody with your boast. That is something that we will also start, a humble brag, where you can, I would love all of you to post your PRS runs with your splits, share it in a runner's eye, and just say whatever you feel like. And I know how hard it is, and everyone will feel happy for you and happy for themselves and get motivated. Okay, so that's the next insight I wanted to give you, thought I want to give you on controlled runs. And then finally, kinetic chain exercises. I'm hoping that all of you are looking at the kinetic strength exercises. I hope that you're seeing that going one by one, and I hope you're seeing that there is a playlist of the entire exercises for every type of workouts. It takes about 7 weeks or so for the strength training to show its impact. So don't be impatient. Time worth spending, prevent injuries, and it's good to do this. And make sure that you do it all the 3 kinetic chain exercises as I had explained in the notification, in the workouts itself. There are multiple levels in each of them. So no point in doing everything to the 3rd level. Start, let's say there are 10 exercises given to you. If you're only able to do 5, that's okay. But make sure that you do the 5 correctly. Even if it is level 1, it's okay. Then move 5 for level 2. And then maybe you can do the 6th one. Maybe you can do the 7th one. Like that you add. So if you spend a couple of cycles on kinetic chain workouts, then you will know exactly what to do. And then you can literally follow the playbook, which is not the playbook, the playlist, where all of it is linked, and it is there in the workout runs as well. Okay, so make sure you do that. Don't miss that out. Kinetic chain, it gives you specific workouts for your various running muscles. So that is it, folks. Again, amazing to see that you guys are all hunkering down in spite of the heat. So in summary, as I told you, go for the large, slow RPM, high-powered engine, which is a cardiovascular system. That's what we are shooting for. Remember the metaphor about our training train. It is picking up pace, be on top of it by focusing as the first one to do, first order of business for the day as opposed to the last order of business. Then talked about control, how that is the focus for the next couple of mesos. Start with the first mile as the slowest, Then the reverse split, which is the second half, is faster than the first half. Then progressive reverse split, which is every succeeding mile is faster than the previous mile. And then stacked progressive reverse split, which is a form of progressive reverse split for very long runs. I would like all of you to go through the continuum from the level 1 to level 3, and you make it happen. Definitely give a humble brag. We would all enjoy watching that. And then remember kinetic chain exercises and workouts with that playlist that I've already provided. Hopefully you're focusing on all of this as we move through Meso 2. Okay. And I hope you also ordered your t-shirts. We will have one more week and then we'll close down the t-shirt orders. So let's get that in. Some beautiful design. Everybody's liking it. A lot of orders have already come in. Give a shout out for the masters who are starting their training season now. And let's keep running. Miles of excitement is always there. And then we'll we'll connect back again and see you all in Final Surge as well as next week. Take care, folks. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.